Alright guys, I got your boy Stingren here today, and today we're back with more triangle strategy, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the battle between Folks and Alvora, the Aesfrontian general, who is too busted for words.
I must survive. Somehow, I must survive. Ah!
Escaping all on your own, I see.
Rufus, what are you doing here?
I came to collect my reward.
Reward? Since when were losers ever rewarded?
I remember our deal differently.
As do I. I was promised an invincible executioner. You are nothing but a fraud. A sheep in wolf's clothing. What's so funny?
I have a new deal for you. Pay me what I'm owed or die.
I cannot give you what I do not possess. But if you kill me now, you will have lost to Wolford with nothing to show for it.
Go on.
If you let me live, on the other hand, I will find the coin to pay you. What do you say? You have a deal?
Fine. But if I don't get that money, consider your life forfeit.
Well,
Far too much blood has been spilled.
I know how loyal you were to the late King Regna. We may be enemies, but you still have my respect. I would invite you to join our ranks.
You would dishonor me so.
I prefer it to your death.
Save your pity for someone who needs it. Your master will never have our loyalty, even if it means the end of the three high houses. Your Majesty, I serve you even in death.
His plot foiled and bested in battle by House Wolford, Silvio Tellior flees, leaving everything behind. House Folks fights valiantly, but ultimately loses to General Avlora's army, and joins their late king in death. Of Glenbrook's three high houses, Wolford, Tellior, and Folks, two are felled by the iron hammer of Aesfrost. House Wolford now stands alone, in more peril than ever.
So, two of Glenbrook's three high houses have fallen. Aesfrost's invasion took me by surprise at first, but this is quite the interesting turn.
Now Wolford stands alone, having lost both the crown and its allies. There is no better time for us to act.
Then let us set the trap, brimming with bait enough to lure them in and keep them there.
As you command. The famed High House of the Salt Iron War will soon be under your thumb, my lord. Having control of their land will make our deliveries that much easier.
Indeed, and House End will prosper more than ever. Brute strength is not the only path to victory. A truly wise man can win without ever drawing his sword.
My lord, a bird from Sorsley End of Hyzant has arrived. He has offered to send us provisions and funds in light of our situation.
A most welcome offer, to be sure, but why would he extend a helping hand to us now? Could he be after something?
Undoubtedly, there are regrettably none so altruistic amongst the Saintly Seven. Seeing as Minister Sorsley has never shown much interest in other nations, I can only surmise this is a ploy to put House Wolford in his debt.
As I suspected. But our people and soldiers need all the help they can get. Let us accept his proposal. We can deal with whatever ulterior motives he may have once we are back on our feet.
Understood. We shall discuss our countermeasures at another time.
Congratulations on your victory in the Vault's domain.
Thank you, sir. They were proud warriors. And Lord Landroy a formidable foe despite his age.
I imagine he was content to breathe his last on his beloved fields. 30 years have passed since the Salt Iron War. It was time he was put to rest beside that bygone era. Avlora, it is time you had a rest as well.
What do you mean by that, Your Grace?
Your soldiers have fought long and hard. Any longer and their morale may suffer for it.
But what of House Wolford? Prince Roland is still with them. Is that not cause for concern?
There are no lords left worth worrying about. House Wolford stands alone after Roland's uprising.
Even so, we would do well not to underestimate them. Even standing alone, they once changed the course of the Salt Iron War.
House Wolford is no longer the hunter, but the hunted. Or do you believe you understand something that I do not, General?
No. Forgive me, Your Grace.
You wish to speak to me, Your Highness?
I wish to leave the Wolford domain.
And you want me to persuade Lord Serenoa?
Yes. Though I doubt he will welcome the conversation after the scales have spoken. But the people are tired. Their expressions grim. This castle is no different.
Even so, the decision was made together.
Yes. But I think we all know that I am at the source of our troubles. The responsibility ultimately falls to me.
If you truly wish to take responsibility, then I do have an idea.
And I would hear it.
Give me that ring.
But this is proof that I belong to the royal family. What would you do with it?
Have you die for your people.
Hey, boss. Come take a look at this.
The poor soul. Or maybe not so poor, judging by these clothes.
Hey, Pa! Remember what I said about that reward money?
Of course I do. This might just be him.
Pa, take a look at this!
Shiny ring, huh? Is that the royal emblem? This has got to be Prince Roland!
The corpse is regrettably too damaged to identify, but the royal signet is unmistakable. Aside from Cordelia, there is only one who would wear the royal family's ring. There can be no doubt, this is Prince Roland.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but about that reward.
Thalos, give them their coin.
Yes, brother.
Thank you kindly for your generosity, Your Grace.
What a waste. Is this truly how the kingdom of Glenbrook meets its end?
House Wolfort are no fools. Their friend was only a liability. They have spared themselves by forsaking the prince. They may have escaped, but there are none who would help them. There is no reason for us to concern ourselves with House Wolfort any longer.
A shame.
Your poor brother, betrayed by his most trusted friend.
Oh, Roland.
The news of Prince Roland's death spreads across the land like wildfire. With his demise, seemingly comes the end of the kingdom of Glenbrook. But only days later, a proclamation is made that would bind Aesfrost and Glenbrook. Bearer of the royal signet and last heir to the throne of Glenbrook, Cordelia is to ascend as queen. And wed Archduke Gustadolf.
Princess Cordelia is to wed the Archduke? What is the meaning of this? Gustadolf is the very one who invaded Glenbrook.
But King Regna is to blame for trying to monopolize the mines.
What does it matter who the princess weds as long as Glenbrook lives on?
It damn well matters to me.
My people, our days of late have been dark and filled with strife. Both Glenbrook and Aesfrost have suffered countless losses. And we have lost both of our beloved princes. For that, I offer you my deepest condolences. May they all rest in peace. As you all know, my father was sentenced to death for his role in this tragic event. But how do we come to grips with our sorrow and anger? How do we atone for our mistakes?
Aesfrost does not deserve your forgiveness! Do not submit to Gustadolf's will!
Let us recognize our sins as such and move forward. Archduke Gustadolf has magnanimously given us another chance. A chance to see Glenbrook to a fair and free future. As the queen of this kingdom, I, Cordelia of House Glenbrook, do hereby accept the warmth and governance of Aesfrost, and swear to do everything in my power to usher in an age of peace with the Archduke.
With all due respect, sir, I do not believe Queen Cordelia to be fit for ruling Glenbrook.
She does not need to be. She is to be our figurehead, a place for the people to focus both their hope and discontent. And while the poor people of Glenbrook stumble in the dark, we shall establish a new government, one based in freedom. Once the people have had a taste of true freedom Aesfrost would offer them, there will be no turning back. By the time Cordelia births an heir, both this kingdom and its people will belong solely to Aesfrost.
I would be loath to stand upon a political battlefield. It is far more heartless than those of war.
I am simply breathing new life into a kingdom of tired traditions. The people will thank me for it in time.
Father, my brothers, I swear to avenge you.
Alright, and that is where we're gonna cut it for this episode. More cutscene stuff, but yeah, craziness. Before we do that, we are going to go to the encampment, of course, and send another person. I think I'm going to do Gila this time, because I said I wanted to do Gila. So let's go ahead and do that.
Might I be of service?
Let me see. Some more stuff of this. Alright, but that's where we're gonna end it for now. Let's see, can we buy another Medal of Bravery possibly? Nah, we can't. Alright guys, so I'll see you guys in the next episode of Project Triangle Strategy. Alright, so we're back with more Project Triangle Strategy. Kind of shorter episode that time around because I kind of had to get it going. But let's talk about what just happened in that past cutscene. Now, it's fairly obvious that Cordelia doesn't really obviously want to be the queen. It's like putting one and one together. Like it's so blatantly obvious that she doesn't have real no interest to be the queen. She doesn't really have the heart to be the queen, and I think Alvora is kind of starting to not like the policies that this is it's stock of 38, but I forgot it's only how much I owned. But I'm beginning to think that Alvora does not like what's going on with the current status of the kingdom of Aesfrost. Of course, she's trying to be content with the whole thing. She's like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. You know, he saved me or whatever. But at the same time, she, I think, is finding a bit of discontent within the kingdom itself. I think she may eventually gather the strength to leave. And if Ivora leaves the kingdom, that would be a pretty big blow to the Aesfrontian army, because again, she's one of the strongest soldiers. Maybe we could recruit her, I would hope. But we do have new character stories here. We have a merchant, and we have a shamaness. You know, I've heard about this character in the wiki, but I don't know what she does.
Sun's a harsh mistress, ain't she? If she sticks around much longer, my fields are apt to wither from the attention. I'd give my firstborn for a drop of rain.
Aye. And it ain't just the crops what are worse for wear. I'd cry over our lot, but naught but dust would pour from my eyes.
How pitiless, the caprices of nature. What grudge do the heavens bear to make the poor souls who tend the land suffer so? I would be remiss to let such suffering continue. If fate will show you no mercy, then I shall. You begged for even a single drop of rain. I shall give you more. Behold as I flood this desiccated land with nourishment.
Huh? What's that the lady said? I believe she means to pull rain from a cloudless sky.
Ha! I'd have more luck getting milk from a bull.
You must tell me if you do. We're in sore need of a miracle.
A pleasure as always to see you, Lord. You've come just in time. This lass is about to put on a show.
I am called Dizana. Allow me to banish the sun's cruel rays from your domain, that your people may see a measure of succor.
Banish the sun? I wasn't aware it was in the habit of taking orders.
Will slap my ass like I was just born. Rain! Honest to goodness, rain!
How did... I've never witnessed a miracle like this.
Zana, was it? On behalf of my people, allow me to express to you my deepest gratitude.
There is no need for such formalities. I seek only to alleviate the suffering of the downtrodden in any way I can. If it is not too bold of me to ask, do you have need of a humble shaman within your ranks? Tales of House Wolfort's magnanimity have reached even my remote village. It would be an honor to serve you, my lord.
We would welcome you with open arms, and the honor would be entirely ours. Doubtless, we will have occasion to call upon your talents sooner rather than later.
How fortunate this humble merchant is to look upon such beauty. Nothing would do Lionel greater honor than to see his powders and perfumes adorn your divine visages. Such honor, in fact, that he's willing to part with them for practically nothing at all.
We haven't even coined for salt, let alone vanity.
Mines are not but your ledgers. You peddlers disgust me.
Well met, brave protectors of the realm. Lionel has brought everything a hero needs and more. Every item has undergone meticulous testing to ensure that they will serve you well on the battlefield.
Out of our way, junkmonger. We've important duties to attend to.
How rude! Where are the smiles and open coin purses the people used to greet Lionel with? Oh, perhaps Lionel should take his goods elsewhere. War has made this place disagreeable. However, it is the perfect opportunity for the shrewd trader to amass his fortune. And Lionel is shrewd, if nothing else.
My lord, that merchant who peddles his wares in our encampment has requested an audience.
Yes, let him come forth.
You do Lionel a great honor, my lord. A great honor. That he can count House Wolfort among his loyal patrons has ever been a source of pride.
Yes, right. What brings you before me today?
As my lord is doubtless already aware, war places a heavy burden on the treasury. A burden that only grows heavier as time drags on. However, a skilled negotiator can see his coffers even fuller at war's end than they were at its beginning. If he may be so bold, Lionel would offer his services in that very capacity. He understands your precarious position, trapped between two ravenous wolves. In such times, one can never have enough coin and resources to stave off what may come. Surely you agree?
Your words have merit, and you have always been honest in your dealings with my house. I see no reason not to welcome you into our ranks.
Splendid! You are as wise as they say. Wiser, even. Lionel shall not disappoint. Just the opposite, in fact. From this day until his very last, he shall stake his honor on the prosperity of your house. And if his own coin purse should grow fat in the process, who could blame him?
All right. So he's a good money grinder. Okay. That's good for like grinding situations, you know, which we may be coming up close on because I do think we need to get ready to start grinding again. We're getting pretty lively in here. And we're sold out of metal bravery. So where did we get any more? Is it just by doing the story quest? There's this fiber. This is timber. Let's take a look at our new recruitable heroes. So she has Rite of Lightning, which is a chance to paralyze. She has Rite of Wind, Accursed Strike, Rite of Rain, Rite of Tempest, and Pierce defenses. Ooh, she might be very good. And we have you, which has Charm, which lowers enemies' physical defense and magic defense. Pretty good. Ruffled Feathers, Lucky Find, Inciting Whispers, Brute Force, and Treasure and HP. You know, Azana seems really good. With Lightning, Wind, decreasing luck. If we get the rain thing, then Rite of Wind seems pretty good. So let's see what passives they have. Here. She has weapon. She has lightning. Let me see. Rainy day lightning damage up. Raging winds wind damage up. Weapon potency up. Max HP. And the new wordsmith guy has whip damage up. Increases damage dealt to enemies that have status elements. Okay. HP up, accuracy, and then luck. And let's just see what they get from promotion. I like doing this with every new character because, again, first playthrough. So you have the Rite of Luck, which probably means extra luck, and Endless Speech. I might want to use Azana in the team. I might consider it. Especially in places where I can't use either Cortine or Frederica.
I won't forgive them for making Her Highness say such horrible things.
Enough, Huette.
But they lied about the king's death. They made it seem like Gustadov was justified.
Say no more. If Cordelia can endure this, so can we. And as long as she lives, that is enough for me.
Forgive me, Your Highness.
We all understand how you feel, Prince Roland.
No, I apologize. I lost control. Thinking about it will do us no good. We must rise to action.
Indeed we must. Everyone knows of your death now. That means we are free to make our next move.
Listen, my friends. Prince Roland of Glenbrook is dead. I am now merely Roland, a warrior who fled a fallen kingdom. I humbly ask for your support until the sun shines upon our royal line once again.
Is that Sir Maxwell's?
That mask. You look just like Sir Maxwell.
This is a secret that shall stay within House Wolford.
Master, grant me the strength to free our home from Aesfrost's clutches.
How is he doing?
Better than before. He groans in pain from time to time, though.
I see. I wish I could tell Father about our situation now, but...
Lord Serenoa, if your father were awake, I am certain he would praise you for safeguarding Wolford.
Sad to say, the real trouble is only just beginning. I'll be damned if House N's protection comes for free. No doubt the longer we stay, the steeper the price.
Precisely. Minister Sorsley is not an altruistic soul.
If you were in his shoes, what would you do?
I would squeeze us dry, then look for an opportunity to.
But we won't let that happen.
Of course not. Anna is already on the move. It is our duty to protect and guide this house.
This heart ain't changed since the day Lord Simon took me in, lad. I'm ready to put my life on the line for this house. We'll get past this, one way or another. You'll see.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Water.
On your feet.
Water, please.
Get back to work. You aren't the only one who's thirsty.
No setbacks, I presume?
None, sir. We are already well ahead of schedule.
Splendid. The ledger, if you would.
Yes, sir.
I would hate for there to be a problem with our numbers. I will hold on to this for now.
Of course, sir.
Water!
Put the poor thing out of its misery, Booker. You must be firm with the Roselle. Show them the slightest mercy, and they'll think they deserve more.
Yes, sir!
I see. So there is an illicit salt trade held outside the auspices of the Norzelia Consortium.
In this business, you cannot avoid rumors even if you try. They say sneaking under the Consortium's nose is well worth the risk, but I am not so bold.
And who is behind all this?
I wish I could say.
I am not asking you to tell me for free.
How generous of you. It's but a rumor, of course, but they say none other than Minister End in Hyzant is pulling the strings. And some free advice for you, my friend? You'd do well not to get involved.
Why?
I'm afraid that will cost a separate fee. Why, thank you.
It's Farok. The body of Lord Dragan is...
So my son has finally returned home. I will be there soon.
something the matter?
I think it better not to look, my lord.
And why is that?
His face. There is no vestige of the handsome lad he once was.
Oh, my son. I understand. You are dismissed. I am so sorry, my boy. Please forgive your pitiful excuse for a father. I will find the one who did this to you. I swear it.
Serenoa, do you have a moment? I was hoping to talk to you about our marriage. Now that Glenbrook has been brought to ruin by Aesfrost, is there any meaning to our union? My brother may have been planning this from the start. And yet I came to Wolffort with the intent of marrying you, completely unaware of it. It's always like this. Nothing ever goes as I would wish it. The course of my life has always been at the mercy of others.
As has mine. Almost nothing happens the way I thought it would.
But you have a home. Somewhere you can return to someday. You are surrounded by people who care about you.
As do you, as a member of House Wolffort. Your place is with us now.
Serenoa.
And though this may sound pretentious, this is a time for you to think about your future and what you must do, Frederica. Just as I am.
I suppose you are right. What must I do?
Here you are. Master Benedict has been searching for you both.
Understood. Let him know we will return at once. You said we received a delivery from Minister Sorsley.
Yes, mostly food and materials, plus a considerable amount of coin.
That is quite kind of him.
House End is a wealthy one, even by Hyzant's standards. This would barely put a dent in their coffers. We have distributed the resources as needed. We've even managed to restock our reserves.
Wish I could be happy for the help, but I can't say I am.
Agreed. Relying on them comes at a price. They will be looking for recompense.
I believe that to be their true aim.
But this is the path we chose to walk together.
Indeed. And as long as we stay the course, the winds of favor will someday be at our backs.
A missive from Minister Sorsley has arrived.
I see he wastes no time. What absurd request could he possibly have in store for us?
Nothing good, that's for sure.
Yet another problem has arisen, as we anticipated. I would like to ask everyone what they think. Benedict, if you would?
Yes, my lord. We have just received a request from Minister Sorcelet. We are to deliver his cargo to Aesfrost.
Cargo?
A load of salt that bypasses the consortium.
He is asking us to be an accomplice to his illegal dealings.
The nerve of him, asking the Honorable House Wolford to do such a filthy job. No way we'd agree to that.
But consider this. Agreeing would secure us proof of his unlawful business.
Are you suggesting we report him to Hyzant?
I am saying it is an option.
You got a point. We have a duty to speak up when something's not right. That's the honorable thing to do.
We might even earn the Holy One's trust.
Have you all forgotten? Minister Sorcelet is one of Hyzant's Saintly Seven. His connections run far deeper than ours. We must tread carefully.
Then we need solid evidence to convict him. I should think the salt he wishes us to transport would suffice. But we are the only ones that know it. And it is indistinguishable from the salt that is legally distributed. Far from the solid evidence we need.
Regrettably so.
One false move and we lose both Minister Sorcelet's support and Hyzant's trust. Without proof, we have no choice but to go to Aesfrost.
If only we had evidence of his misdeeds.
It comes as no surprise to see our opinions differ, but a decision must be made. To report Minister Sorcelet's illegal dealings to Hyzant, or become a silent accomplice. Bring the scales. It is time to make our choice.
Alright, so this is my thought process on the whole thing, right? So I think we should go to Aesfrost because we could potentially tell Prince Durgan's dad about, you know, the real thing that happened with the Aesfrontian soldiers taking in him, and then potentially rallying his side to help maybe corrupt the Aesfrontian army from the inside. I don't know. I'm thinking way too deep about this. I bet the events aren't already there. But we go to Hyzant and then we tell them that we don't want to agree with the salt trade. Then we could become hunted by Hyzant as well. Aesfrost won't attack us because they already got the thing they wanted, which was quote-unquote Prince Roland. But then that will put us against another house, which is against House Hyzant. So it's confusing, because again, first playthrough. But I think we should go. I think we should. And then maybe let them know, hey, we know who did this to Prince Durgan. You know, it was the Aesfrontian army. This has happened. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But
we must decide.
So he doesn't want to be bothered by it. My conviction isn't high enough.
Serenoa.
See, at the same time, the right thing to do is to tell them about the deeds. But you gotta understand that we have no real connections. Hyzant's a part. I mean, my guy is part of the Saintly Seven. Sorcelet is a part of the Saintly Seven. He's got the connections. He's got the quote-unquote Holy One's trust. Like, we really, I don't know if we really stand a chance.
What do you need?
But I think what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna try to transfer this and see if we can maybe at least corrupt the Aesfrontian army from the inside. So let's first talk to Anna, who's always undecided because she doesn't really have no alliance to anybody. Oh, she doesn't seem interested.
Yes. Certainly.
So she's deep in thought. That doesn't necessarily mean that she will.
We must decide.
Aye, lad.
I'm just gonna try it. None of these options are favorable. It sucks to have to agree.
Consider this.
Because again, he's basically enslaving the Roselle, and our bride to be is a Rosellian woman. I mean, it is a bit of a risk because we have no other outside resources for help. We don't know who to trust. Even we have no idea who to trust.
Serenova. Surely. In that case...
Let me see. We have to talk to Benedict.
We must.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a guarantee. I don't think anyone would just be like, wow, he's doing that? No way. Like, it seems so unlikely.
Certainly not.
We have to like figure out a way to expose him.
Interesting indeed.
Alright, let's do the voting. If they decide, I mean, I'm indifferent to both options, to be honest. If we do one or the other, it's fine. Because I don't really like how this whole thing is scaling up with the Aesfrontians and the Hyzan army. I don't know, man. I don't think we should be worried about the Aesfrontian army anymore. But you never know. Maybe.
Forgive me, my lord.
I don't know. But if we take the other option, it's fine.
Still.
to this.
Seems like they don't want to, which again, I'm indifferent to both options, but making an enemy of Hyzan is...
Just can't see it your way.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
This game makes you really think about the decisions you gotta make, man. Okay. So it seems like we're going to go to Hyzan.
The way forward is decided. We march to Hyzant and expose the minister's illicit dealings.
The only thing we could do in this case is say, hey, we have salt. Where do we get the salt from? You know what I mean? Like, that's like the only thing we could do in this situation.
We have chosen our path. We shall head to Hyzant and alert them of Minister Sorslay's wrongdoings.
Now that we have a heading, we need only move forward.
Indeed. No matter how perilous the road ahead may be, we must not falter.
Anna, begin the preparation.
Yes, sir.
Unless Anna's got some plugs or something. Anna's gotta have like a plug or two. She's got to. Also, I think we haven't been grinding enough because our convictions aren't high. We're not being able to convince our partners anymore. So that might be cause for grinding to get our convictions to go up. Which is what I might end up doing.
In exchange for his aid, Sorsley orders House Wolford to transport his illicit salt. Serenoa, however, intends to bring word of the minister's crimes to the holy state of Hyzant. In order to succeed, he must delve deep into the nation's internal affairs while avoiding Sorslay's notice.
So you've decided to accept my proposal. A wise decision, Lord Serenoa.
As you have requested, none shall know of the salt's
But you are still too young for true wisdom, it seems.
He means, let us not speak of the obvious, my lord. It's prudent to speak as little as possible to prevent any unnecessary complications. One never knows who might be listening.
Fortune favored you with a capable retainer.
I beg your pardon, Minister, but I must entreat you to recall the aid you offered in exchange for ours.
I give you my word it shall be done. Booker, I'll leave the rest of the arrangements to you.
Yes, Minister. If you all will follow me into the antechamber, we may discuss the details further.
Alright, so before we do anything else, there's an option here too. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of grinding. And that's what we're going to call it for this episode. And we're getting close to the 40-minute mark. Of course, I try to keep episodes at least a little bit over 30. So we're going to do that. And we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of grinding and get ready for the next fight ahead. Because there is some characters I want to level up. For example, I do want to level up the new Azina, because she seems to be pretty good on paper. I might want to mess around with her, especially as a potential replacement for Quarantine. But of course I want to get around at least up to 14. At least all the applicable people I want to use, so to speak. But anyway, this has been your boy Stingren. See you guys next time. Peace.